Christ 17 TV back upside your head with another one, baby. Today we got some horrible news from a ex-football player I used to watch for Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell is accused of raping his cousin Jada Bell for 10 years, and a jury awarded her $25 million in damages. What a fucking scumbag. So it says, according to the reports, former NFL star Le'Veon Bell is in the news once again, but it's not for his performance on the field. His cousin Jada Bell filed a lawsuit accusing him of raping her for nearly a decade, beginning when she was around 6 or 7 years old. What a piece of fucking shit, you fucking child predator rapist bastard. And the jury has now awarded her $25 million in damages. So right there, we can see it's a civil suit and not a criminal suit, because this piece of shit will be going to jail for a long time. So you're an NFL star. It doesn't matter what the fuck you are. A man, period, raping a child is out this fucking world scumbagish, and you need to be dealt with, period. You need to be going to prison for the rest of your life for what you did to your baby cousin. So what, I mean, what the, who? Motherfucker is an NFL player that can get any woman he want. Any woman he want. He's got millions of fucking dollars, and you want to fuck your baby cousin? You want to fuck a kid? Not fuck, I'm sorry, molest. That's molest. That's raping a child. You dirty motherfucker, you. See, and he's standing here in this picture with a MAGA hat on. He's a fucking maggot. That's what he is. He's a maggot. I tell you, this world is so fucked up. We rooting for this kid playing in the games to get first down to score, and we don't know he's doing this shit on the side of his like, he's got fans, the whole stadium, Pittsburgh is rooting for this guy to score and get a first down and break a tackle. And all along, he's fucking a little kid, his cousin, a 6-year-old. He's molesting her and raping her. What a fucking piece of shit. And yes, he deserves jail time like a motherfucker. Over a decade, you're raping this little girl? You're raping a fucking baby, you cocksucker? You should give Jada Bell $25 million, and you should go to prison for the rest of your fucking life. You should be in a cell with P. Diddy, fucking R. Kelly, all these piece of shit scumbags who get a lot of money and think they can get away with anything. This is a civil suit, but this should be a criminal suit. This motherfucker was terrorizing this child for over a decade. This baby probably had nightmares every night praying you didn't walk in her fucking room. And how did this guy have access to this little girl for over a fucking decade? Probably because you was the rich person in the family. You wanted to take the kids and you was doing foul shit. Motherfucker, bro. Motherfucker. And I'm one of the people who rooted for you to score, because you was on my fantasy team a few times. And come to find out you a rapist? A piece of shit rapist? To a child over a fucking decade? Poor baby. That child, or if she's grown now, I don't know how long ago this was, but over a decade, started when she was 6 or 7. So she's at least maybe 20 years old now. Maybe. I'm not sure, but doing the math, she's probably close, or 18, going 19, 20, 21, depending on how long this has been going back and forth in court. But the thing is, I mean, how do you live with yourself? How do you wake up, get dressed, and look in the mirror and go on with your day knowing this is the person who you really are. A fucking pedophile, a rapist. To a baby. Your family. Who's that? Your mama's brother kid, your daddy's sister kid. Who is it? How does your parents and your family feel about this? Hopefully you're a fucking disgrace. They disowned you and tell you to take your money and go shove it up your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because this is foul. And I hope and I pray none of them family members are mad at Jada Bell. Because she is the victim here. Because, a lot of motherfuckers will be like, he's got the money. You should have never said nothing. Like, what the fuck? That make you just as bad as him. Some people are like that. They would rather have the family member with the bag, no matter what this cocksucker does to this little kid, because they money hungry, and they'll side with, oh no, she's lying. That's the problem with people. When a little kid comes to you and tells you some horrific shit like this, some people tend to not believe the child. No, fuck that. Any baby comes to me telling me any foul shit, I'm believing the kid. What do they got to gain to make some shit up like that at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Absolutely fucking nothing. They're scared and they trying to find some help. And this motherfucker, bro, I said, I just read that shit and I'm like, $25 million lawsuit awarded. Okay, so that means you're guilty. You're guilty of it. They found you guilty. Where's the jail time at? Nobody wants to put this man in jail for these horrendous crimes he did to a fucking child? He's just gonna be walking around the fucking streets so he could do it to somebody else's child, his own child. Who fucking knows who's next? People like this shouldn't be walking around the streets freely. I don't give a fuck how much money you fucking got. That makes it worse. A pedophile, rapist motherfucker who got money, who could buy shit off. That's the worst. This motherfucker doing this shit for over a decade to a baby. You a grown-ass, big-ass man. This is a child, man. The fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with people these days? See, I wouldn't care if you walked out the house tomorrow and got hit by a fucking truck. That's the kind of hatred I got for people like this. For people like this, okay? I've had family members molested. I've had friends, nieces, and daughters molested by scumbag motherfuckers. Okay? So this shit hits home. The shit hits home, and I hate this kind of fucking activity. And to know this baby had to endure this shit for a decade of pain, violence. This little girl could have probably never slept at night thinking, is this motherfucker finna come through my door? Is he finna come through my door? Boy. Sometimes, boy. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. This motherfucker here, oh boy. In the Bronx, motherfucker catch you doing that, boy. Curtains for you. You're done. You're fucking done. You ain't making it to no court hearing. Nothing. There's street justice in the middle of the streets. In the back of the building, you might get thrown off a project roof, you motherfucker. No lie. I ain't gonna lie. Growing up where I grew up, with the people who I grew up with, boy, you better... It's sad, man. It's just sad that a motherfucker like this, with all this money and fame, could get any broad he wants There's all kind of IG models that would do anything for a couple of dollars to a football player. And this shit was being done when this guy was probably playing the game. Guarantee you that. And this is fucking sad. Poor little Jada. Poor little girl, man. Poor little girl. This motherfucker here is a sick son of a bitch. And he needs to be put in jail. And they need to do what they do to dogs. Clip that motherfucker. Cut his balls off, his dick, all that, and be done with it. And put him in jail. Put him in jail. We don't want no child rapist walking around these streets with his beautiful little kids playing around in the park and shit like this. If you do it once, you always gonna do it. That's your MO. That's who the fuck you are. And he was doing it for over a fucking decade. So if this man shouldn't be put away, something wrong with the system, something wrong with the courts, the world, and everybody who's says, oh, well, he paid $25 million. I don't give a fuck if he paid $100 million. That's not gonna take away the shit he did to this little girl for over a fucking decade. You think money can heal pain? It can't. It might soften the load because now you got some bread, but them thoughts, them nightmares ain't never gonna leave that little girl head. Ever. So 25 million ain't shit. She should have got that, and that motherfucker should have been put away, this piece of shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. NFL player, you can get any broad you want. And you want to do this to a baby. What a fucking... Whew. Well, let me stop before I start cussing too much on this YouTube thing and they want to give me some kind of bullshit strike or some shit, because this is the kind of shit that absolutely drives me nuts. Because how you got all this money, you're a famous football player, you're in great shape, and you don't want to be with grown women? You could have 2 or 3 women at the same time, but you would rather go lay with a 6-year-old girl? That blows my fucking mind away. I don't get this kind of behavior. It's sickening. It's fucking... It is disturbing that a person would do that to a baby, and this motherfucker could have any woman he wants. I ain't gonna lie. This shit crazy. Le'Veon Bell, you is a piece of work, a piece of shit, and you need to be going to jail. 25 million. Yes, that she deserves all that and more, and she deserves justice. And you getting the fuck up out of here and getting sent to fucking jail for the rest of your life. Sit in there with P. Diddy. You and him can baby oil each other up and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Or you can be set up with R. Kelly and y'all can pee on each other. I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, but this is horrible. So with all that being said, man, hit that like, hit that subscribe. It won't cost you a dime. And like I tell you every time around this time, man, watch your kids. Can't trust your kids around nobody. Not even they big cousins. This motherfucker's a grown man doing this to a 6 or 7-year-old little girl. A little baby. A little fucking baby, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody, for all the foul language. But sometimes I can't help myself when it comes to shit like this. I grew up in a different time, a different place, where we spoke with a lot of passion, and passion means cursing. When I see this shit here, and it just makes me just want to say the crazy, because you gotta call it what it is. He's a piece of shit. He's a scumbag. He's the worst person. He's a dirtbag. Anything you could think of, this is what this guy is. Sitting there with his MAGA hat. Like, Watch what the thumbnail shows you. The picture that they had, I took off the IG when I read this shit, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be shitting me. But this is what's going on. And there's plenty of cases like this where the girls are too scared to tell their family because they're afraid nobody's going to believe them. Do you believe that? There's little girls scared to tell their parents because they're afraid they're not going to believe what their daughter is telling them that somebody is doing to them who's a close member of the family or who is a part of the family. And this has been going on for decades, centuries. So, with all that being said, man, I got to catch you guys on the flip side. Till next time, everybody stay blessed, have a great day, and keep an eye on those babies. Christ 17 TV.